Hi, my name is Janet Merlo and I'm a retired police officer with Canada's National Police Force, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. I joined the RCMP in 1991, 2 years after I graduated from university. And I was so thrilled to have gotten into the force to start with, but to continue my learning. I had graduated with a sociology degree and a criminology certificate, so I was very eager to move on with my life. I knew I was joining a man's world. I knew by the troops there was 32 in our troop and 9 of us were females. It was going to be a challenge, and I was more than prepared for that. What I wasn't prepared for, though, was the brutal gender-based harassment, bullying, and discrimination that goes on within the force. After 20 years, I had become so sick, stressed out, my marriage was failing, my health was failing. My doctor recommended a medical discharge from the force because she knew that I couldn't go back into such a toxic workplace. So I left. In 2012, I became the representative plaintiff in a class action lawsuit against the federal government for the gender-based harassment that had occurred during my career. Once a few of us had gone public with the media and told of our stories, more and more women started coming forward. And when we launched the lawsuit, there's probably about 25 of us. 4 years later, in October of 2016, we reached a settlement that was announced in Ottawa with a national apology from Commissioner Paulson. And there was about 500 women at that time. We figured with a settlement in place, some women would come forward that hadn't wanted to risk revisiting all that before, and we thought the number would double to maybe 1,000. And this year, when the deadline came for the submissions for submission packages for claims, there were over 3,100 claims made. So in that one lawsuit, we've made lives better for over 3,000 women. And hopefully, if the force will work on the initiatives that agreed to in the settlement, the RCMP will become a healthier place for men and women, because there's a lot of men that suffer too. Not so much the gender-based stuff, but harassment in general. Since the settlement of the lawsuit, and even prior to, I've been asked to talk several places across Canada, universities. I did a parliamentary hearing testimony. I spoke before the Senate. I had a book launch. I wrote a book in 2013, No One to Tell, Breaking My Silence on Life in the RCMP. And I had a book launch at Parliament Hill. I've spoken to trade unions, to businesses, to managers, corrections classes, policing classes, sociology classes, all about harassment in the workplace and how it takes its toll on everybody, from the victim of the harassment to the businesses themselves that lose probably thousands or tens of thousands of dollars every year because of poor morale, low productivity, stress leave, medical leave, just sick leave in general. And a lot of that comes from having a bully in your workplace. You might have somebody in your workplace that you don't even know about it, because the employees are afraid to speak out, because they know if it's anything like ours, it will cost you your job to speak out. To the victims, I love speaking to groups, because at the end of every talk, someone will come up to me and say that they found a voice and they're going to follow it up. They're going to lay a complaint, and that truly inspires me, because it's so good for me to know that through what I have learned and what I can pass on, other people will learn and be able to make their lives a little better. So I have perspective and lived experience to bring to the table, for sure, after being through the harassment itself, the writing of the book, the civil litigation for 6 years. It's been quite a journey, and I would like to share that with you, and I'd like to help you, whether you are an employee or an employer. There is somewhere that you can go with training, with policies, and there's something you can do to make your workplace better if you're experiencing bullying and harassment right now. Thank you.